In our last section of this mini lecture, we want to talk about what exactly is the American identity. What does it mean to be American? So, just to recap, we declared independence in 1776. We fought a war and we gained our independence officially. The end of the American Revolution was in and the writing of the Constitution, 1787. So that's roughly 11 years between going from, a colony whose only purpose was to serve, Mother England, no more important than Britain's African colonies or its Indian colonies. But there was something different about the United States. That spirit of freedom, which would come a lot later for the Indian colonies or the African colonies. So now we have our own personal identity, and that can be found in our flag. It can be found in our Great Seal. It can be found on our money. The flag, starting with the flag, we have the Stars and the Stripes, aka Old Glory. We know that there's 13 stripes representing the 13 colonies, and then there's a field of blue with white stars representing each of the individual states that come into our union of 50 states. Then we have our seal. We have the great eagle, but he has on a shield, a vest, ever ready. He's got the olive branch in one foot and arrows in the other foot. We desire peace, but at the same time we are ready to defend ourselves. And in his beak you see a banner that says E pluribus unum. That's Latin for out of many, one. And that's just really representing the togetherness of the United States, several states being joined together as one nation. Now, in God We Trust, that was officially adopted in 1956 as our national motto, but it's been around. I mean, it's found in the Star-Spangled Banner. It's been used on coins since 1869, but now it's printed on all money. And I mean, it's just showing you again those Judeo-Christian roots that America was founded on. How can you take on the world's superpower without believing that you have your own superpower in your corner and that your cause is right? It's the thing that kept so many of the colonists going, this fight for freedom and belief that God wanted them to be independent. So those are some symbols of America. Now it's 1831, and you have a Frenchman named Alexis de Tocqueville traveling to the United States, and it's the same time of the revolutions in France, and really his goal is to see, what makes America so different. France had experienced the same political instability that was going on in America, but somehow America was able to survive intact, whereas France, there was really it just really devolved into chaos for a while. So here he is, and he's in the United States, and he's studying the country. Oliver, as I was saying, Alexis de Tocqueville came to the United States in 1831 to study the American prison system. But while he's traveling throughout the country, he gets a firsthand look at the American experience, what it's like to kind of live as an American citizen. Now, let me preface this by saying he did mostly stick to the East Coast of America, and with the exception of not really having come into contact with like Native Americans or slavery at that time period. Some would say that his view wasn't a good overview of all of America, that it was kind of limited. But even still, historians who study de Tocqueville, talk about the 5 values that he discovered on his trip to America and that he thought was crucial to America's success as a constitutional republic. The first value that he witnessed while studying America was a concept that he called egalitarianism. Now that's different from where he comes from, because in European society everything is built on bloodlines and heredity and who were your family and history, and everything was really separated by nobles and classes and peasants and where you fell into it. It was different in America. Yes, we had different classes of wealth, rich and poor and intelligence, but everyone was equal in society. Like, I don't have to walk down the street and bow to you because your father was, so and so family. There's no titles of nobility in America. Everyone was equal in that regard. Next came populism. And populism is basically saying that all people had the same right to participate in government. Again, it's 1830. Women don't get the right till the 1920s. But for the society at that time, he's seeing equal participation. Liberty. By liberty, de Tocqueville meant, protection from a tyrannical government. Americans were devoted to the rule of law. We've put these laws in order to limit the government, and this is what we expect to be followed. Our federal system, he really believed, helped prevent the rise of our government beginning to be too powerful. And he also wrote that he really believed that religious faith helped strengthen America's belief in individual liberty. Also, individuality. That Americans, we didn't have the hereditary classes again, so you were free to be socially mobile. If you had the idea, the finances, the work hard, the ethic, that you could move up in society, and it was yours to lose as well. And that final characteristic was an idea that he called laissez-faire. In French, that means hands off or to let do. De Tocqueville felt that a key value of Americans was that each individual was allowed to be the best judge of their own interests. We typically don't want the government telling us how to live our lives, making choices for us. We believe that, leave it to me. I know what's best for my life. Contrast that with a socialist or a communist government where government planners plan things for you. So here are just some pictures when I think of his 5 values, things that come to my mind. Individuality, populism, everyone having, an equal say, liberty, Americans choosing to do for themselves rather than have the government dictate to them. And individualism, we work hard, we play hard, we work hard, we expect big payoffs because we're free to do that. So this concludes our lecture on Unit 1, the founding of America, and let's have a great year in U.S. history.